as much time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized for as much time as he wishes to use.
My amendment is straightforward. It simply ensures that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is following current law, specifically Section 4C2 of the Endangered Species Act, by conducting a review of all threatened and endangered plants and wildlife at least once every 5 years. Time after time, the federal government refuses to follow the will of Congress when it enacted the Endangered Species Act. The government designates land as critical habitat despite not meeting the ESA definition, and the government consistently refuses to remove plants and animals from threatened or endangered status, even when those species are flourishing and no longer in need of ESA protections. But you may ask yourself, how does the government know when a species should be removed from the endangered or threatened list? How does the government know if a species is recovering? The answer could be found in the ESA, and it's a requirement that the federal government review all plants or species that are currently listed as endangered or threatened every 5 years. Under the Endangered Species Act, the purpose of a 5-year review is to ensure that threatened and endangered species have the appropriate level of protection. And because the ESA grants extensive protection to a species, including harsh penalties for landowners and other citizens, it makes sense to regularly verify if a plant or animal is being properly classified or if it should be delisted. Despite this common sense requirement, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service acknowledged earlier this year that it has neglected its responsibility to conduct the required reviews for nearly 1,000 species. By enforcing the 5-year review, my amendment will ensure that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is using the best available scientific information in implementing its responsibilities under the ESA, including incorporating new information through public comment and assessing ongoing conservation efforts. This amendment is supported by Citizens Against Government Waste, the National Mining Association, and the American Farm Bureau, and has previously passed the House of Representatives on 3 separate occasions, all by bipartisan votes. I encourage my colleagues to join me in ensuring that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service follows the law, the letter of the law in the Endangered Species Act, and that we do not allow the agency to spend money that would violate current law. I ask you to once again support my amendment, and I reserve the balance of my time.